Hopefulness 2.0, April 7th. You can tell. Not exactly much of a position to be cooking at the moment. I'm cleaning stuff, and yesterday the headache, and I don't know. Yesterday I was sick, it seems, because the headache didn't go away for a while. Now it's kind of back, which is weird. Doesn't make any sense. And then, I had to take multiple shits for whatever reason. And they were very diarrhea-esque, so I don't know. I didn't answer phones, I didn't do anything yesterday. This is gonna take quite a while because of the way it cooks. We're 40%, cook it for 25 minutes. I think it's more. Gotta go to the store today. Take care of that. Get some food. I don't have any eggs anymore because I made some scrambled eggs last night, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm not quite certain, but I think I don't know, I think my filter might be bad again. I have my suspicions, but I'm not certain. And if that's the case, if my filter is bad again, that may be the cause of the persistent headaches. Which ain't good, obviously. Because I remember the last time it was pretty bad. It would get to that point where it tasted strange. Felt strange, whatever you want to call it. And then I would get subsequent headaches after the fact. Now, I don't know. It may just be the traumatic. I'm not sure. But in the meantime, yesterday I decided that I'd continue working on the EverQuest Rogue from the old days. Ye olden days. And spent a lot of time trying to get one item that just would not fucking spawn. And then later in the evening, I mean, I gained like 4 levels in the whole process, which is crazy. Running around killing all these stupid things. And learned quite a bit more from this one dude who's been, I mean, he hadn't just been helping, he's been pretty much doing all the work. It's like when I first had to do a couple of things here and there, died, helped me out with that, and then helped me get, 3 of 4 pieces that I needed. And, sent me all this armor and stuff. And it's just like, super benevolent and all this. Just made the whole thing 1,000 times easier. And then last night I had already, I picked up 2 pieces of a subquest that I needed, and I was still working on a third, and I would have had to pick up on a fourth, which was going to be another pain in the ass in itself. And he's like, "Oh, I just found out I have this thing," and I'm like, "Oh, that's the one I'm currently working on." Like, fuck. He basically gave me 7/8 of the remainder of what I needed, and I didn't even work really on. I mean, it's ridiculous how much. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go see if I can turn these in and get this one piece so that I can get to the very end of it and then turn in and finish. And then there's a mechanic that's stupid as hell. So in a specific area where one specific NPC spawns, he has what's known as a placeholder. But if you kill that placeholder, he will not spawn. Which is fucking dumb. Like, what? That's stupid. The game has to despawn that placeholder for him to spawn. It's so dumb. And it's like, and said placeholder will attack you. Which is even more dumb. And I didn't figure that one out until the guy that I needed didn't spawn, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll wait another X hours or whatever. 72 minutes is how long an EQ day, a EverQuest game day is. So I waited, but then he wouldn't spawn again for whatever reason. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this? So I had to go to sleep because it was getting close to 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. So then I just got up, waited, did that turn in because it worked out, and then went and finished. So I've got what I set out to do on Sunday night, just to go get the rogue epic for my old school rogue from back in the day. And now I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't know if I'll keep playing. I don't know. I gotta call these people. I didn't even call anybody back yesterday. I called people back with job stuff because I need a job. Supposedly some job didn't have me, it sounds like a bait and switch really, but like, this one is no longer available because it's been filled, but we have this recruiter dude who wants to, who thinks you're, strong resume and stuff, and I'm just like, it sounds like some bullshit, but we'll find out. Like I said, I gotta go get food and stuff from the store. Still haven't consolidated a damn thing. I should at least take one box down. I mean, I don't have a whole ton of boxes, really. There's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 2 bags, so that's effectively 9, 10. Another bag, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 boxes. So one a day wouldn't exactly work out if I wanted to finish it by the end of this month, but part of it is I need to get rid of stuff that I just don't use. The other part is, in doing so, if and when it comes time to move again or store shit or whatever, I should ideally have enough boxes and stuff for everything. Ideally. We'll see. Still haven't even made my, I haven't even looked to see what the carrots are. I need milk so I can get some, so I can make some, probably okay for now, but not for much longer. Could make carrot cake. I've got flour and shit. Could start working on another sourdough again. I have to start working on this starter. Whole thing is like, I mean, once you have your starter in the fridge for a while, you know, it's a multi-day thing. It's not just like a 1 or 2 day thing. So, but there's a lot to clean and all sorts of other shit too. So, I've said it before. I'll keep saying it. A dishwasher would just make my life so much fucking easier with all this. And you know, that's a thing that like I look forward to if I get some kind of job. Before I go, I've got to look at like some of the stuff that I want to do in the next couple of days at least for foodstuffs. And then, you know, I need to get like another tray's worth of chicken. Running out of bacon, but I'm probably not going to buy any more. Because with the chicken, then I can incorporate that into stuff like rice and whatnot. I'm thinking that if I decide to do the stock thing again, instead of what I did with as many as I did, as many bones as I did, because I had quite a bit. I think I only do like 16 bones, which is roughly 2 packages worth. That way I can put it in this 4-quart pot that I've got, and then not have it not have to worry too much about the nature of stuff. So. But yeah, anyway, that old discard, I haven't done anything with it, and I'm probably not gonna. I'm just gonna dump it. I mean, it's been over a month, and it's just been sitting in the fridge doing nothing. So there's no point in keeping it at this point. It's just taking up a container that I could be using for something else. You know, containing rice or whatever it is. Mixing bowl, etc., whatever. I think it's one of my larger ones too. Not the largest, but like second largest, I think. Yeah. And I got 4 of those. I got 2 of the big ones. I need to clean up some stuff. I need to take. I should maybe just do it now. But I need to transfer lemon curd I have in the fridge to a smaller container so I can clean this out, because this was too big of a container anyway for what I had. But I don't think I had at the time because of either dirty dishes or whatever. I don't think it was available for anything of appropriate size. It's so tart too. It's crazy. It's like I want to make the pastry cream again, just so I can mix it with it because of how tart it is. It's super tart. Like it overpowers real fast. A little bit of a mess there. No worries, you gotta take time to clean that up. So now it's in a smaller container to which I can put it in the fridge. No big deal. Got some rice in here that I cooked yesterday with the stock that I made. Like I said yesterday, I believe. I'm gonna, next time I do it, I'll just dump in whatever remainder that I have, and then I'll pour in water for to help with the fill line stuff. That way, you know, it'll still have that flavor, but it'll just be a little bit more diluted, and then I'll have taken care of that stock. Because I mean, using it for the rice has worked really well. It makes it super flavorful. It's really tasty. Yeah, shit. Yesterday, in the middle of cooking it, the power fluctuated for like half a second, turned everything on. So it like, my rice cooker was just off, and I had to turn it back on, but it's like a super simple pre-programmed kind of thing. So I put back on, you know, the brown rice and everything, because it was still pretty much uncooked rice with a lot of, you know, boiling liquids and stuff. And then I come back to it later and it's cooked, but like, or it's mostly cooked. There's still like a bit of water and liquids and stuff down below. And, you know, so I'm like stirring it and stuff so it doesn't burn on the bottom and all that. Because like the timer and everything on it, it's just, it wasn't kicking in, and I'm like, what the fuck? It's ridiculous. And because of that, I hadn't completely closed the lid, so like there was just a bunch of steam that was condensing around the lid and everything. Oh fuck, did I burn it? Because I was just smell it, which was nice, you know, good indicator. But yeah, it was just, there was an inconvenience that just made it a little bit more of a pain in the ass. And then when I was done with that, I was so super full, like, because you're throwing in some bacon, and I keep forgetting the bacon is salty, so, you know, I would add too much salt. Like, I don't even need to add salt when I'm throwing bacon into it, because it's salty enough. And, but I had taken like a whole pinch, like a pretty big pinch, and spread all over the place and whatnot. Anyway. But I mean, it still turned out good, but again, it was such a heavy meal, like, even if I had been feeling better, I wasn't gonna do anything. And like, that's how I want my cheap ass meals to feel. I mean, you know, that big thing of bacon that I bought is like something like $8, I think, and it's at least a pound, if not a pound and a half. And when I'm cutting up into it and everything, a couple ounces, maybe 4 or 5 tops. Not even that. I mean, if it was a pound, then there's no way. I'm definitely putting in more than that. So it's got to be like 2 pounds worth at least. So we're talking like 8 servings at least of bacon that I'm using, and I'm going reasonably heavy on it. And if each of those servings is like $1, and this bag of rice is maybe $5, $6, something like that. I don't even know. You know, with just the rice and just the bacon, That's less than $2 for a serving. And then of course, there's the associated chicken stock situation and whatnot. It's like, I mean, the whole meal, probably $3 max after everything's said and done. And it's like, it's super filling, it's super flavorful, it's just so fucking good. And it's like, yeah, there's poor people food, but there's poor people food that's good. And it's brown rice, it's not white rice, because I mean, I should at least eat some kind of healthy shit out of my rice. So yeah, the whole situation is just crazy with regards to that. But it's starting to smell good in here. I need to try to reframe my accomplishments, even though it's really hard to, because at least through the conversation I have with my psychiatrist, she was like, you're advocating for yourself, because there was a job at one point, like talking about how you have to drive your own damn car around. And it's like, what's the point in that? I mean, one, it's a brand issue that's stupid. If you're going to be a representation of a solar company and you're driving around in a car, the first thing people are going to see is your car, and they're gonna that's where the brand recognition is going to come from. And and she brought up a good point about how it's like, it's even worse now, especially with gas prices and car prices and stuff like that. And like, that's probably how they're saving their money, is so that they don't have to spend money on cars. They don't have to spend money on maintenance. They don't have to, and looking into, a little further, it seems like it was kind of sketch anyway. So, it's like, if you're gonna be a solar sales company, and especially if you're going to be claiming that you're part of the top 10 or whatever the fuck it is, whether it be of the region or nationwide, doesn't matter. Your reputation really does matter in a situation like this. And if you have people who can't afford to, if you have people who are employees who have to use transit to get around to literally do the job, you are not doing the job of solar sales correctly. It ain't happening. There's a certain air of professionalism. Like, yeah, you could say tattoos, ruin professionalism, whatever. But that's when somebody's up close. It's when they see from far away. It's when they see that car pull up in front of their house, or drive down their street or whatever, and then they look at that and they're like, oh, interesting. Brand awareness comes in many forms, and if you can't seem to afford to have fucking company cars for your employees who sell your shit, there's something else going on, and I don't want to deal with it. And especially when, like, he was so adamant about how, oh, we're all friends and we hang out with each other at the end. Like, I don't want you controlling my work-life balance that way. I don't want you stepping in and saying, like, I could agree to it and bullshit, but at the same time, that's a bit of a red flag too. So, I ain't down with that. And so I'm glad that it's not an issue anymore. In here too. Oops. This was my, oh man, those eggs were, I went crazy on those eggs. So I put a tablespoon of butter in there, threw in a little bit of olive oil just to kind of help balance with that. But then, because I'm a brilliant person, after I was done cooking them and I wanted to cool off everything, threw in, you know, pretty hefty amount of sour cream. And it became almost like it became very much like a soup. And then in doing so, like, the first bite, I was like, oh shit. This was later in the day. I was like, oh shit, this is some rich shit. Like, it kicked me in the ass. It tasted great, but holy fuck, was it just like, it was so rich and filling, and I'm just like, this is both good and bad. Because then it was like, I wasn't gonna do anything anyway, but it was like a smaller version of the rice meal, where it was just like, it was heavy, and it was, yeah, like, in a way, it was like the lemon curd, wherein just a couple of bites would kick my ass. I was like, well, I think I've outdone myself today. Oh man. So I think what I'm going to start doing is, I have a couple of blank legal pads. I'm going to start trying to write down accomplishments, because I don't think that way, and I think that it might be a good idea to do so. It's been 25 minutes. I'll let it sit for 5. You know, and I don't know how well this is going to help. I'm sure it would to some degree. I don't know what it's going to do to help. So that's, I guess, moisture capture, but makes sense. But at the same time, it's like, maybe, I don't know, whatever. You know, when you open up the lid and everything, I guess moisture's gonna fall into it, but it's not exactly, you know, intuitive. Because literally it's the first time I've ever fucking, and this is like the second version of one of these that I've had, and the first one I got was a few months after I stopped being homeless back in 2014, so that, if that tells you anything, you know, it's been 8 goddamn years, and it's like, oh, well, 7.5, but, yeah, anyway. Not intuitive, at least not for me. I don't know, whatever. But, I got food to get later. I've got dishes I gotta clean, which sucks. But I finished the Epic, which is good. There may be some other EverQuest stuff that'll happen. We'll see. We have something called the draft that just went through, so, you know, it's kind of like football and whatnot. You get to pick stuff and various other factors. We have a number of options. This start on the weekend, most likely, I believe. So we shall see. And you know, I know it takes up time and stuff, but it's one of the few joys I get, and sometimes it's joyful, sometimes it's not. But make this, clean some dishes, figure out what to do, make a grocery list, some stuff to get. Eggs and their babies. Well, chicken and their babies. Chicken and eggs. Chicken and eggs, chicken and eggs, chicken and eggs. Let's check the nature of my Dutch oven, see if it is. Doesn't seem like there's any rust anywhere. Can't tell anyway. I guess I'll just go ahead and end it. Have fun.